Hey YouTube, coming at you with the video submitted by Jared, and he is using Shadow Golurk, Malamar, and Toxapex. And he says, wanted to try, this was again earlier in the season, wanted to try some of the newly buffed meta, need something to cover Azumarill, Azumarill jump left weakness, so I added Toxapex. I found that Golurk is very strong with shield or energy, and Malamar works pretty well as a safe swap. Winning matchup, you think it wouldn't, such as Azumarill in the 2 shields. Lots of misplays since I'm experimenting early in the season, but still did very well. Yeah. So thank you for this mission. So yeah, we'll check it out. Like weak to grass, you do have a poison, and you are half water in the back too, but you are poison, so you kind of deal with the grass there. Weak to dark, so you kind of have Malamar to somewhat deal with that. So with superpower, and then like Toxapex does okay. So let's take a look at it in action, see how, I know Shadow Golurk is very glassy, but we'll see it in action here. So look at those Psy waves add up on you. Bubbles are super effective, and now it's just as you saw in my video this morning, do not use Azumarill as a safe swap because it can just get killed in this meta. It is not a good safe swap in this meta. Not with Toxapex, not with Tentacruel, not with just so many poisons running around right now. Like, we got rid of Lantern, which was nice, but like, I would much rather have Lantern than Toxapex. Going for the Brine, essentially, I think you're just call that basically an undercharge. Just throwing the Brine so that you can reload on energy here, just to come out with some energy, knowing that Azumarill cannot do anything against you. Come out with energy. Going to instant swap, but you instant swap to a catch, so you have to shield anyways. So I kind of get it. They end up coming with no, not jump off, Whimsicott. Shadow Punch is gonna hurt. Yeah, I was gonna say Shadow Punch just hurts so much. These Fairy Winds. It's a very, very, very glassy Pokemon when you have to start saying these Fairy Winds are adding up, which is what they were doing. You have so much energy. Yeah, you hate to see it, but you just have like 2 brines essentially, so I think it's just worth that shield. You can also just go, what? You should just be going, I don't mind brining the first one because it's just an obvious bait, like they have to kind of shield. Poison is neutral against Dark and Psychic. So you just throw that Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave, Brine is for those of you who do not know, if you're newer to the game or have not used Toxapex, Brine is, how do I say this? Hot garbage? Except not even hot, just pathetic. I guess hot garbage is a way to say it. It's really like smelly and crap. So anyways, so much for using like a metaphor here. It's bad. It's like one of the worst damage per energy moves in the game, so don't use it. It's such a high energy move. Just use Sludge Wave. This is where the 50-second switch timer may help you. Not enough, I don't think, unfortunately. Mandibuzz is pretty spammy with those snarls. Superpower is neutral, so we're just going to chip with a bunch of superpowers, lowering our attack each time, so it's not going to do much. But you know what? Chip is chip, and it's not like Golurk's going to do anything against us either, so you might as well just try and chip as much as you can. It's not like they're going to snarl down on you, so they're going to have to throw. At this point, it's just an air release they can throw here. So air release will take you out. They will have energy, so this will take you out. They'll have at least a Dark Pulse loaded. So you either sacrifice Golurk, or more strategically, you just come in Toxapex and just take this damage. So there's the first Dark Pulse. They'll probably get to a second Dark Pulse before you take them out here. Ooh, not quite. And it is a Clodsire. So throwing the Brine, it is super effective, but you're going to just see how bad of a move it is. Barely doing a tickle there. Jellicent is obviously a ghost fast move, and it also has Surf as a charge move. So going to commit, I think there you probably try and grab a shield, because they're going to want to take you out. So I think you just like grab that shield on Jellicent to give you a little bit of help there. You're probably going to grab both shields right back here. and you still have a third too. And mud slaps are adding up, so maybe you kind of need to burn shields here, shadow punch to put it within like brine range, or even just mud slap range, force them to throw there. Holy crap. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Mud slap is super effective against Clodsire. You're so attack heavy, but now you did essentially just put it. So maybe the farm down was the right play. I feel like I would have grabbed the shield, but maybe that's not the right play. Maybe because if they could just go, no, but they won't want to go to shield Clodsire because they're gonna not want to take the mud slaps. So same thing we just saw, except for this one. I don't think was on the lead last time. Not throwing, trying to force them out so you can maybe throw neutral foul plays, but they are not budging. It's one of those things where it's like you have a Golurk, which is such a bad matchup, and so you think that they may be like, oh, maybe I want to keep my flyer on Golurk because it's such a good matchup, but then this Malamar matchup knows you only have foul play superpower. Superpower is neutral, but every superpower you throw lowers your attack and defense, and it just makes it that much easier for the Mandibuzz to not only win this matchup, but come out with some energy and keep sort of switching the back end however they want to do it. They're just going to go for the aggressive farm down at this point. So they are at basically 2 Dark Pulses. Out comes Toxapex. But you are going to hit with some Dark Pulses. I would be very surprised if they don't go back-to-back here. Yeah. Getting those Dark Pulses, really chipping. If they're not leaving this matchup, they probably have an answer for Golurk in the back. And right now, Mandibuzz is just sweeping this team. Not sweeping, but like just causing it all sorts of problems. Come out with a Gastrodon, meaning that your Poison Jab and Sludge Wave are resisted. And what is in the back? It is a Feraligatr with Shadow Claw, and of course that's why they are not scared, because they know they can just out-claw you and just come out with one. I wasn't counting, but one, probably like one close to 2. Yeah, I just let it go because you have no chance anyways. Yeah, that's where Golurk is unfortunately too glassy, right? Any charge move we've seen so far has basically chipped you significantly. So this is going to be one of the glassiest Pokemon that you ever use if you use it, just FYI. Shadow Punch is single resisted, double resisted on the normal, super effective on the psychic. So single resisted in the ending. Going to stay in just because, yeah, you really don't want Malamar on this. And Dynamic Punch is neutral. So getting a neutral Dynamic Punch and then getting your Toxapex on is not the worst. And what's in the back? A Dunsparce. Trying to catch a Drill Run. Did not quite get it. I'd probably make that swap instantly, quite honestly, because I think if you make that swap instantly and start putting pressure on with the with the bait of a superpower, but with the foul place potentially, you're in a better situation than letting them get so much energy when you essentially need to try and chip here as much as you can. So I think you just make, when you see that Dunsparce, you just make that switch sooner. They let it go. Isn't this thing super low already? Yeah, it's already down at 50%. So they'll probably, even though you lowered your attack, I was going to say have to shield. At this point, you just shield and commit to the farm down. You don't even throw a move. What are they doing? You don't get 4 shields next match, buddy. Use a shield once in a while. Okay. So just Poison Jab down. Yeah, okay. Okay. So I guess neutral-ish. They do get to the body slams quick, and well, actually body slam is resisted, so they have to at least go to earth power to fake it, because you are a ghost, so body slam is very resisted. If they're at earth power, yeah, you might want to shield and just take switch and go down a shield. They're not gonna get to another move, and out comes, can we get to it? Oh yeah, you got, I mean, I'm sure you know you have to throw that Shadow Punch there. Like you've already said, you made some mistakes. That is one of them. If you know for sure you're going to get to move, great. Dynamic Punch is obviously the correct move there. If you are unsure, you got to be reading. After like the first 2 Powder Snows, you need to be reading how much damage those Powder Snows are doing to you to figure out if you're going to make the move or not. And if you're not, Shadow Golurk with a punch is still going to chip a Bomb Snow huge. So you got to make that. You got to make that read. Get the foul play off. Coming in a Bomb Snow and sniping. I guess that's a decision. Now just going to get completely farmed down. Not worth throwing anything at all. Just farm down. Come out with like a brine and a half. Grab the one shield very quick. 5. This is just it's just a weather ball. They're just trying to chip you to put you in whatever range here, knowing they're not going to get to the move. But we're at back-to-back brines already, right? So, and you've already chipped Clodsire a significant amount. Yep. So, yeah, I was kind of surprised by the snipe. I guess they were trying to save this, but it's tough. Okay, another holy Mandibuzzes. I have not, and they gave up switch and otherwise a good lead. Okay, I've not seen this many Mandibuzz is a really good Pokemon in this meta, just because especially with all the ground out there right now, it is a very good Pokemon. You're seeing a lot of them. I'm surprised that they gave it up. Again, I know they have such a good matchup there, but they just lost switch, so they're not even going to get that matchup back now. You just commit the double shield to not have your Golurk see the Mandibuzz. Now, what is extremely risky is leaving Golurk with 0 shields. That's not the way that I would play this team. Golurk needs shields, and to have any sort of success with it, you need to be able to get some shadow punches off and try and grab shields from their end, as opposed to just being down 2 shields and just going to be taken out basically with any move. So you can't come in Golurk. You just got to come in Toxapex. They come in Oranguru. And again, these are going to add up, and a charge move is basically going to one-shot you because you just burned all your shields. Especially Brutal Swing. Yeah, so you're no chance. You can't. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to not get the Mandibuzz on your Golurk, but you cannot give up that much there. Ooh, Clodsire is not a great answer here, especially that far ahead on energy. Yeah, you cannot give up the 2 shields with Golurk on your team. So you will be easily able to flip this. This is one where, yes, you shield once. These Psy Waves are adding up a lot. Get this foul play off to start grabbing shields on them. I'm fine basically just like Psy Waving all the way down here. I was going to say even if they shield, they're just side wave all the way down. Get a foul play off here on Gastrodon. At this point, Malamar has done its job. Golurk will be... Oop, you still going to move too? You got to throw the superpower. Come on. Okay. Remember what I said earlier in the video? Do that. Yeah, just be aware of your energy. Cacturne. I've never seen one of these, and now this is the second one that I've showcased in a row here. So I don't really understand it. It is a shadow, which means Aqua Tail is probably its moveset. You'll live in Aqua Tail, quite honestly, though. Yeah. So it's not... You don't need to be worried about it, but just be aware. I would just throw Superpower again immediately. Yep. Do not let any other damage go through here. Force them to make a decision here. And now you can just slap this down very quickly. I would shield the potential crunch, because that's going to one-shot you. Even Aqua Tail would chip, so that's fine. Instant swap. I have no idea what the moveset is. I have no idea how hard this thing hits. I'm assuming it's very glass attack heavy, glass cannon-y. That does a lot of chip, and at this point, that chip is significant. And then you have a grass on your Golurk, so this is not looking good. You basically need to let this go. Hope it takes you out so you can come, and it doesn't even take you out. No, you got to let it take you out and then come Mud Slap Golurk and get a head on energy there. So you had energy coming out with the shield as opposed to now being shields down behind on energy. So if you let that move on Toxapex go and then you get in here, it looks like I don't even know if you would have got to move, but you then have a shield for it. But yeah, those sucker punches are really adding up. I'm guessing that's why this thing is around again. It's one of the new buffed fast moves. Okay, Dugong comes in. Yeah, this is the best answer despite it being super effective drill runs. Just for taking the resisted ice shards. Non-stab drill runs okay. Your poison jabs are adding up. But again, this is kind of somewhat that you need to land it dependent because they shield. It doesn't become as straightforward as you would like this to be, especially if they like icy wind once, but they just go straight drill run. And again, this is why it doesn't become straightforward because it's just, you just get outpaced here. So they actually did go straight drill run, which is actually beneficial to you. They may let it go and just get a little farm on something, but yeah, that farm being, oof. Very, very aggressive karate chop down, which makes sense. But unless it's running payback, you just come in here. You don't care about cross chop. You don't care about stone edge. I guess you do care about stone edge. Holy crap. Right. Shadow Machamp doesn't care about your typings. I've said that multiple times. And it sure doesn't care about your typings when you are a Shadow Golurk and it is a Shadow Machamp. What the heck are the stat products on this thing? This thing's got to be like my guess is like 140 plus attack with like 100 defense and stamina is my guess. And then you probably add on the 20% Shadow takeaway after. Yeah, okay. 133 attack for Golurk, add the 20% on top of that. 96 defense, take away 20%, which is why you are just getting destroyed. 129 stamina is actually higher than I expected, but the defense is exactly what I expected at around 100, just below 100. And then, right, take away 20% from 100. You are extremely low there. So, yeah, you cannot take any damage on this Pokemon, resisted or not, especially for a really, really hard-hitting move, resisted or not, from a Shadow Machamp, which is also like more attack heavy. Getting the back-to-back dynamic punches off here, which is huge because they got to just double shield or they'll be taken out because they are half dark. Coming in here, poison super effective. Clodsire is yeah, they may just be going Stone Edge or Sludge Bomb because I don't think an Earthquake takes out. So the double Stone Edge is the correct play because Earthquake will not take out, so you need a second move anyway, so just go double Stone Edge. Try to get to that move ASAP. Yep. That's a good chip. At this point, you almost don't care if you get taken out because you can probably Poison Jab down from this range. So they take you out. Getting those extra Poison Jabs is actually probably beneficial. So thank you, Malamar, for doing your job. No. No. What are you doing? I have like 1 HP. Does not take out. And you do farm down. Yeah, I think you probably just could have farmed down there. Okay. Thank you for the submission. Golurk is ranked like number 30. The Shadow version ranked 30. These Mudsap users, man. Gastrodon, Marowak, Cancel Marowak, Golurk here. All pretty high ranked. Basically just knowing that these Mudsaps are adding up. Like I said, I would probably rather use like a Shadow Marowak or Shadow Golurk over Gastrodon at this point, but people are going to be saying I'm being too hard on this thing considering how strong it is. I just don't think that with the non-Shadow Mudslaps and the non-stab Body Slam that I think like Gastrodon's a little more overrated than it should be. But Golurk's so glassy. Like you really need to know how to shield properly and like absorb damage on other Pokemon and try and grab shields with those Pokemon because you really need all of that for Golurk. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for the submission. Try to go through a few more of yours because I did not play today at all. It is my anniversary weekend, so I'll be out all day tomorrow. or today, I guess I should say, before we roll back into work. Okay, anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.